What could be more empowering for your inner witness, higher self to see than you showing up, going down the path, actually making hay? Jumbo, fellow adventurer, I'm Mike Dooley, a writer, speaker, teacher on the nature of reality, specifically helping people understand how to live deliberately and to create consciously. Welcome to my Spiritual Tune-Ups podcast, where in this edition, you're about to hear a mini manifesting workshop. The title says it all. Every single Tuesday morning, I broadcast a live mini manifesting workshop, and I've been doing it for years and years for my thousands and thousands of infinite possibility members. With the catalog we have and the archive running very deep, we've decided to start sharing these globally to podcast listeners. If this mini manifesting workshop references a PDF download to accompany the workshop with an interactive exercise, you can find your copy at club.tut.com/PDF. club.tut.com/PDF. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this mini manifesting workshop, one of the features of our Spiritual Tune-Ups podcast. Tally-ho, amigo, your thoughts become things, and you are utterly adored. The art of getting started without knowing who, how, what, when, or where. I think many of you know my story. I share it here, there, and everywhere. But I look back at me getting started on these past 19 years with fondness now, but I remember the terror I had then. I know so well what it's like to not have a tunnel to look for a light down the end of it, yet simultaneously be aware that if you're not doing something, the universe can't reach you. And it is like, but how can I do something when I don't know what the rest of my life is going to entail? I don't know what my bliss is. I don't know what my niches. I don't know that purpose that God put me here, the universe put me here. How do you act? Well, as you know, I assessed my sucky options, and that's going to be one of my tips for you. If you're starting over, and hopefully you're further beyond that than where I was, then you need to kind of just assess where you're at, the options that are in front of you. If you're starting over, it's extremely likely that those options will not be the life of your dreams. Otherwise you wouldn't be in this situation. Whittle down the list to the least sucky and go. And once you go, you are going to be so astounded by all that your baby steps make possible. The list is almost endless. It's why I put in the notes from the universe so often, once again, taking action saves the day. Taking action. Let me tell you the benefits and the dividends you will derive from finally getting started. And then I'm going to give you the tips on actually getting started. Okay, the benefits. Number one, you embolden, strengthen, fortify, and install empowering beliefs. Okay, people are always worried about what their invisible limiting beliefs are. We'll talk about that in a second. We've talked about that in other mini manifesting workshops. But one way to bulldoze and liquefy those limiting results is to embolden and install and fortify and strengthen empowering beliefs. What could be more empowering for your inner witness, higher self to see than you showing up, going down the path, actually making hay? Okay, I'm going to give you the tips on how to do that when you don't know what you want to do. But I want to convince you of the unbelievable magic you unleash in the universe by putting your physical being into gear. You embolden empowering beliefs that you presently have, although maybe unidentified. Like I rock, like this might work. Fortune favors the bold. I walk with angels, emboldened. And then you will install beliefs that belie anticipation and expectation because your inner witness sees you moving. Simultaneously, as I just alluded to, you eradicate, you diminish, you weaken invisible limiting beliefs, if you even had them, without declaring that you have them. Okay, we've talked about that before. But by you doing something with what you've got from where you are, you erode any invisible limiting beliefs that would have otherwise held you back, because clearly your demonstration, just like acting with faith, and acting as if, what better demonstration, what better acting as if step could you take than a baby step in the direction of your dreams, in the humble direction of your dreams? We will refine that in just a minute. So right off the bat, taking action saves the day. You're ramping up a heightened sense of expectation, installing empowering beliefs. Number one, you're eroding and destabilizing invisible limiting beliefs. Number three, taking action, I saw this 19 years ago, breeds clarity. Breeds. Taking action breeds clarity. You're going to knock on some doors and they're going to make you nauseous. You'll knock on other doors and it's like, whoa, lo and behold, they fly open and the marching band begins. Clarity that you would not have had you not taken those steps. The clarity I got was nausea circulating my accountant's resume, found out the hiring world was equally nauseous at the prospect of my return. While on the other hand, I found that by writing about life, dreams, and happiness, number one, it was like a puzzle. It was like, like, how am I going to say something succinctly, and memorably? It was like by the end of the writing exercise, I was jazzed and recipients were equally jazzed. I never could have had those epiphanies on either side of the equation, nausea, confidence, had I not done something. Even though those things I did were not towards the life of my dreams, they made the path clearer towards the life of my dreams. And let me remember to say this to you. You've probably heard it elsewhere, but it's the dirt road that leads to the diamond mine. The dirt road leads to the diamond mine. Don't be looking for the yellow brick road. It's the dirt road that transforms itself into the yellow brick road, which means you need to be taking steps down this dirt path, synonymous or metaphoric with uncertainty, self-doubt, self-loathing in my case. You go down this path with an open heart, doing the best you can, even though you're negative. Yeah, you got license, even though you're afraid, but doing what you can with what you've got from where you are. Combined with all else I share in these mini manifesting workshops, you become unstoppable. What else does taking action do? It summons resources. I used to teach this in my first world tour. Sometimes I would not even know where this content comes from. We're all channels. But I remember saying, too often we are sidelined in our life into a paralysis or inactivity because we realize at the outset of a journey, we don't have the confidence. We've never demonstrated the creativity. We don't have the financial resources. We don't have the camaraderie, the peer group, the mastermind group. We don't have any of that stuff. And we feel like we need to wait until our duckies line up. And then we're going to go. But as I tell the story in Leveraging the Universe, the mama duck doesn't wait for her baby ducks to line up before she crosses the road. She just goes, and then her ducks line up. And in life, once you just go, your ducks will line up too. Now, that doesn't mean go blindly. That doesn't mean go carelessly. That doesn't mean go and risk your finances or sanity. But just do something. Go down with a baby step, some small incremental step, and the resources you need to finish the journey. The duckies you need to line up will assemble. Mama duck just goes and the baby ducks then follow. You just go, and the confidence, the creativity, the resources, the camaraderie, the peers, the vendors, the customers, build it and they will come. Taking action. I know We're going to get to the not knowing how, when, where, what. But I just want to convince you that you become superhuman by showing up, okay? Taking action summons resources, installs empowering beliefs, erodes invisible limiting beliefs, breeds clarity, and then, as if you needed any more reason to take action, it sets you up so that you are reachable by life's magic. Okay, you're out in the world. You've programmed life's magic with end results, destinations that you're jazzed about, emotionally charged about. That's not today's workshop. We've talked about that before. You know, it all begins with the end in mind. The universe is like, you want a travel partner? I know where you can find a travel partner. I've interviewed everybody. You want wealth and abundance? There's a lot of ways for you to have that. You're so clever. You want health and healing? Your body knows how to heal itself. Let me add it. You want X, Y, Z, whatever you want, the end result, the universe is like, here you go. Open up the doors. The floodgates are trembling. What you need to do is then show up out into the world. Show up out into the world, and then you're in a place of receivership. You can't dream and sit on your couch at home with your vision board waiting for Oprah to call. She's not calling. You have to dream and go out into the world, even if it's down sucky dirt paths. So those are all the virtues of getting started. Like get started no matter what. Now, I'm going to give you the 7 tips to help you get rolling. Are you ready? Choose the least sucky paths and go. Give yourself a deadline with whatever it is you want to do. Lose weight, make money, start a new career. Have these general end results, because then everybody knows what they want in terms of generalities, right? Okay, you might say, I don't know if I should write a book or go back into human resources or move to Alaska. It's like, where are your big priority areas? Because you know what those are. Okay, and then consider the possible paths that might take you there. Okay, and those paths are what I refer to as the sucky paths. If you had the yellow brick road in front of you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. So chances are they kind of suck. Give yourself a deadline, 2 days. 2 days. Choose the least sucky paths and physically go down them. Okay? Test the waters. Print the business card. Enroll in the licensing program. Join a dating website. Begin the diet, or at least decide which diets might work for you. Decide what nutrition you must have, how you're going to approach the whole thing with the exercise. You've got 2 days to refine these possible paths that will help you transform your life in that big picture area. And I want to help you take steps down those paths, but we got to know what those paths are. You don't know what to do next? Choose the least sucky path and go within 2 days. Physically do something. In life, if you want change, you must physically act. Even if it's more joy, you must physically act. Call your friends, join a club, go do something. You always must physically act. You must physically act. Let's just pretend I said that 7 more times. Okay? You want change, you must physically act. So how? Choose the sucky paths and go. The least sucky. Number 2, try multiple paths at the same time. I worked on my resume while I wrote the first motivational email from Mike. It was prior to the notes. While I developed a website, and then quickly thereafter, I joined Toastmasters to learn speaking. Notice, none of those were the life of my dreams. They were my least sucky options. Resume, creative writing for free, build out a website and learn coding. That's not a dream. That's what you hire people to do, right? Join Toastmasters. I hated speaking. The thought of it terrified me, but I felt like I had something to say. And this is I'm going to give you some further refinement to help you pick those paths. That's what these 7 tips are for. So choose multiple paths at the same time. Number 3, don't worry. Most people are overwhelmed because they feel like they have too many choices, whether they're too many great choices or too many sucky paths. Just do your best to intuitively and logically guess what the 2 or 3 best paths are. 2, 3, 4, 5 best paths. Do a little here, little there, little there. As you knock on each door, the clarity will reveal itself. Some doors won't budge open. Other doors will fly open. For the door that doesn't open, stop going down that path. And now instead of 5 doors or 5 paths, you've got 4. And as you continue going down multiple paths, and we can all handle multiple ideas within the same priority area for change, you're going to find ease and confidence and clarity down some paths, and you're going to find great resistance and obstacles down others. Guess what? Don't go down those, but you've got to take the initial steps to find out. And then sooner or later, you're going to have 2 or 3 or 4 paths that just light you up, where you get all green lights. Might be terrified, but you get all green lights. I mean, to this day, I write, I market, I speak, I create courses. I write little bits. I write books, 17. I mean, I'm still doing multiple paths. We've got Train the Trainer. We've got Solopalooza. Every vibrant career, every major transformation is always going to be worked on a number of different fronts. So don't worry which road you start out on. It's not going to be the road you arrive on. That was a note from the universe once. So stop worrying about picking the right road. What if I choose this path or these 2 paths, and it turns out I should have been, an artist instead of a realtor? All paths will take you there. By going down that path, you embolden, all those things I talked about before, embolden beliefs, summon resources, and you gain guidance. The clarity gives you guidance. So if you go down the wrong path, you will be guided and gently bumped on course through the magic that exists everywhere, because you're moving with your happiness, with your intuition, with your logic. You can't pick wrong, so don't worry. Number 4, start small. Break each project into little pieces. If I felt like 19 years ago, I had to have the full kit and caboodle, the great big website, I'm available for speaking, I'm available for writing, here's my daily inspiration, a book is on the way. It's like that would overwhelm anybody. So just pick little pieces. I'll do one motivational email and not touch the website. Oh, I got a little bit of feedback. It was good. Maybe next week or next month or in 3 months, I'll build out the website. Just tell yourself these things. Break down the big projects into the little projects. You got to write a new book? That would always overwhelm me. It still overwhelms me. But can you write the title and the table of contents? Just do that. That's all you got to do. Which leads me to the 5th tip. Trick yourself. Kid yourself into taking those steps you don't want to take. Toastmasters, just go to one meeting, and you never have to go again. You want to write a book? Just write 1 page. See how it goes. And you never have to write another page again. You want to go pound the pavement, circulate your resume? Just reply to 1 ad. You never have to do it again. You're going to try out the new diet or cleanse? Just do it for 1 day, and you do not have to do it another day. I have never stopped kidding myself, tricking myself, lying to myself to get me past hurdles and resistance, knowing full well I'm lying to myself, and it works. I'll write another page the next day. I'll do another day of the California cleanse. I'll do another day of circulating my resume. And that action gets you out there, creates anticipation, makes you a lightning rod for serendipities. Number 6, understand start does not mean start and then stop. Okay. Start means start, get rolling, never stop. Start does not mean start and then stop. Did it work? Are things changing in my life? That's not start. That's not you into the game. That's like, I'm scared, I'm timid, I don't like any of this. I'm going to start and then I'm going to come to a full stop. How many times do we see people break into a project and then completely abandon it almost immediately? So if you're doing all these other things, you're going to have several projects going on. You're going to be mindful of the virtues of getting started and taking consistent action, and you're going to be more likely to stay in the game with all else I've shared with you in this little mini manifesting workshop. So start does not mean start, then stop. It means you never stop. I can remember when I started 19 years ago, oh man, I so wanted to hit and run. I wanted to write a book or do something big, make millions of dollars, and then sell my home, move to the mountains, and live in a cabin with my dogs. And I realized one day that that was really a runaway dream. That was an escape dream. That was not engage life and love your life dream. But I never did, hit it fast and make millions of dollars. So I had to stay in the game. And now that I've stayed in the game and so many other things are happening, it's like, thank God, what a miserable existence to hit and run. You just be avoiding life and avoiding yourself and avoiding challenges and making it impossible to grow. So know this at the outset. Hey, if you've got a hit and run desire, okay, something's not balanced. And you'll find balance by staying in the game, and you're going to see this stuff really does work. You're going to see you really are powerful. You're going to see that you can change any area of your life. And then the last thing you'd ever want to do once you get rolling and the dirt road turns to the yellow brick road, the last thing you'd ever want to do is to stop. So start does not mean stop and check it out. It means start and keep going. Number 7, the final one, take into account your likes, your strengths, and your preferences. Of course, I went into great depth saying just pick any dang path. But I know that doesn't mean you're going to rush out and flip burgers at McDonald's. Nothing wrong with that path. But I'm not just saying just do randomly anything, although that would work. That's how important it is to take action. But obviously, tune into your likes, your preferences, your joys. Understand where your strengths are. What have you endured and prevailed over that might be able to help other people, the lessons you've learned? Tune in. I did that 19 years ago. It feels like 9 months ago, but it was 19 years ago. I love the nature of reality. I hated the idea of speaking. I discovered I like writing about it. I got logical and said, you're broke, you need money. So I started speaking. That's why I pursued speaking, even though I was terrified of it. And I truly hated it because I had something to say. I tuned into my bliss. It wasn't the life of my dreams, but I just loved talking about the nature of reality. And so I wrote about it, spoke about it, did web pages about it, and the upward spiral lifted off, as it will for you. So here's this week's challenge. Okay. Obviously, I want you to do all the things I've talked about, but very specifically, I want you to write down 4 things. Okay. And you're not getting a worksheet for this, so you do it on your own. Okay. You got to do something, right? I'm going to send you all of these summary lessons, but you're going to maybe turn that sheet of paper over and write this down. Number 1, what do you most like and love about life, living life? Is it nature? Is it animals? Is it food? Is it metaphysics? Just make a list of the things you really like and love about life. Number 2, I want you to write down as many things as you can think of that you're really good at. Okay, are you really good at listening? Are you really good at math? Are you really good at gardening? Are you really good, whatever it is, make that list and make it long. What are you really good at? Number 3, what have you endured and prevailed over? What hardships as a child, as an adult, what have you endured? Perhaps what's the hardest thing you've ever been through in your entire life and that you prevailed over? Okay. If there's something else hard going on and you're in the midst of prevailing, that might be good turf too. You can go both ways. And then you'll see what we're going to do with this list in a minute and decide that for yourself. And number 4, what would you like to explore? What would you like to be good at? What would you like to see if you can fall in love with? About life, living life. What has always been on the periphery? If I had more time, I would travel more. If I had more time, I would cook more. If I had more time, what would you do? What would you do physically? Okay. The reason for creating these lists is because it helps you tune into that little inner child. the authentic, real you. And it reveals exactly what you are perhaps best suited to help others with, how you can be of selfish service. These are your arenas, okay? Now, this is your assignment. This is your challenge. This has been the magic of why you want to get started. These are the tips to get started. I hereby unleash you upon the world, okay? And now let me just give a little caveat, because I'm always meeting people and somebody's just passionate about this book of theirs or the art of theirs or this lesson of theirs or that contract or that house on the hill. That's micromanaging. If you're an artist or you're a writer, keep creating art and keep writing books. Don't make any one path, any narrow corridor like those I just named, the end all and be all of your happiness. Definitely go down those paths, but don't let them be the only paths. Okay? That's just a little caution drawn from earlier mini manifesting workshops. There you have it, fellow podcast listener. Now, let's stay in the zone. If you haven't already, please visit my website, tut.com, where you can sign up, along with 1 million other subscribers, for my free daily notes from the universe. You can also find out about my Infinite Possibility membership for a price you choose. Every single Tuesday, I do a live broadcast, a 30-minute mini manifesting workshop. Members have access to the last 52 mini manifesting workshops. So check it out. And if you have a moment and these podcasts move you, I would be deeply grateful for a review at the Apple Podcast platform. Go to tut.com, look for Spiritual Tune-Ups, look for the link for podcast. If you send us a screen grab of your published review at Apple, we've got a very special bonus waiting for you. Check out the links, read all about it. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you on the next podcast installment.